Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today we're going to be going over some of my wants for the LEGO Ninjago Legacy sub-theme. If you've kind of been following Legacy, you would have noticed that we don't really get too many villain vehicles in the sets, or at least having them be the primary focus within the sets. Usually, if we are receiving them, it's kind of just a side portion to the set, and not really the main focus of it. So I wanted to do a video kind of just dedicated to the snake vehicles that we received in 2012. And kind of just discuss the likelihood of us eventually receiving them as legacy sets, or how they could sort of be worked into this new sub-theme that we have for Ninjago. And I just wanted to discuss that because I think there's definitely a severe lack in villain vehicles, and I think that you need those, of course, to go along with the hero vehicles. So I think it's definitely something very interesting to discuss. So we're going to go through 5 sets today, specifically from 2012, and just kind of discuss my thoughts on them and how likely I think it is that they'll be made in Legacy. Alright, so the first set that we have here is the Rattlecopter, and I'm actually fortunate enough to have this one in my collection. So this is one that I would still like to see in Legacy though, because I think it's got a really unique sort of design to it, putting a sort of like twist on your classic sort of Lego helicopter design, with of course making it a snake sort of design, and I think that looks really good and it's pulled off very well in this set. And I think that minifigure wise for this one, of course, we have gotten that new version of Lloyd there in Legacy now in the Destiny's Bounty set, and then Kai, of course, is one that we have in Legacy in a sort of like Legacy suit for this version here. But I think that the actual snake that we get in the set, Fane Sui right here, I think would be pretty cool to get within a new Legacy set. And then just the build, it would be cool to have a sort of upgrade for this one, or maybe even put it together with another actual snake vehicle that we'll mention later on in this video. Kind of combine them into just one set, I think would be kind of a cool thing to do, or just pair it up with another ninja vehicle that might not be as much of a significant one, but I still think that this is a pretty decent build here that I think it would be cool to receive in Legacy. Now the next set that we have here is the Pyre truck ambush right here, and there is actually a portion of this set that we have already received in Legacy, and that is Zane's snowmobile here. That one was already put in a new Legacy set just now with Kai's blade cycle, so we already have that one, but I still think the Pyre truck is one that I would love to be able to get in Legacy. I never had the opportunity to pick up this set when it originally released, so I think it would be great to have a new version of it. I gotta say it's one of my favorite of the snake vehicles. I think it has such a cool sort of look to it, and I like the big wheels as well. It just has a very larger than life sort of design to it, and I do like that quite a bit. And then Phantom as well, who's included in this set. I think it would just be great for us to eventually start getting some of these snake generals in some of the Legacy sets, because of course really the only one that we've received is Pythor, and I think that we're definitely need to get some of the other ones as well from the other snake tribes. So I think it would be a great opportunity to include that character within a new Legacy set, and I just think this one has such a cool design to it. It's definitely one of my favorites, and it definitely could use a Legacy upgrade. The next set that we have here is Lashas Bite Cycle, and this is honestly one of the ones that I don't think would need a Legacy version. I think we already get so many bikes in Ninjago that I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but I still do like the look of this one. I do actually own this one in my collection, and it is quite cool. I do like the sort of twist on it, of course, with that snake design going on, but we've already got Cole in Legacy, and we actually do have Lasha as well, so I don't think it's as necessary of one that needs an upgrade necessarily in Legacy. I mean, don't get me wrong, if we do wind up getting this eventually, I wouldn't be opposed to it, especially considering they could just include some new minifigures in it as well, or really drastically change the design of it, but I just don't think it's a super necessary upgrade for Legacy, but it's still a pretty decent set back in 2012. Alright, now the next set that we have here is the Pyre Mech, and this is one that I'm honestly not a huge fan of this set. I think that it does have a unique design to it, of course, making a snake sort of mech, but I just feel like the head looks way too big to kind of be attached to the mech there. It just looks a little bit top heavy to me, and even though I know it is able to stand, I just don't think it looks very natural, and it might not be going for that sort of natural look, of course. It's going to be something sort of weird, but I just don't think this one would sell very very well as a legacy set, because I don't know how popular it was at that point in time. In 2012, I don't really hear a lot of people look back fondly on this one, and I don't think that it would really get the sort of attention that it would need. I think there's better builds that you could do, such as the Pyre truck that we already went over, so I think this one is one that doesn't necessarily need an upgrade for legacy, but it's still an alright looking set and definitely a very unique sort of look. Now the last snake vehicle that we have here is actually probably the one that had the biggest appearance in the actual Ninjago show, and this one here is the Pyre Wrecking Ball. I only sort of remember this one because it's when we go and visit Jay's parents in the junkyard, and then the ninja wind up having to fight against this thing, and they wind up having to use the ultimate tornado of creation. So I think it's just kind of a cool moment from the series, and I think it would be cool to eventually get this as a legacy version, because I do like it. It's definitely very unique with the sort of crane design to it, and it looks just really wacky overall, especially with the treads as well, so it can kind of move around. I think that's quite cool. And then minifigure wise, it would definitely need quite a bit of an upgrade. Maybe just include a bunch of really cool snakes within the set. Even if it might not make sense to the original appearance of it within the show, I still think it would be cool to get some new additions within the set, and I think that it is still just a really cool build. It's something really unique that I would have honestly never really expected from Ninjago, and I think it would be really cool to eventually put it into a legacy version. Okay, so that's going to conclude the video here for all of the LEGO Ninjago 2012 snake vehicles that I think could potentially wind up being legacy versions. I know for some of them, I talked about the likelihood being pretty small for them, and for some, me not even really wanting a legacy version, but I think it was still good to kind of go over each of the sets to kind of discuss the likelihood of that. And of course, keep in mind this is all just my personal opinion here. Some of these sets might wind up getting turned into legacy, and in this video I might have said, oh yeah, there's no chance of that happening. So I just want to clear that up, of course, that I don't actually know if any of these will wind up in legacy, because it seems like LEGO is really focusing more so on the ninja side of it with their vehicles, their builds, and just primarily more on the hero side of it, and more so less of the villain stuff. But I would like to see them kind of branch out to that eventually, and I might do videos on other sort of like villains from other like points in Ninjago from other seasons as well, because I think that could be interesting to go over as well. But I wanted to start here with the sort of like snakes right here, because they have so many cool and unique looking vehicles that I thought it would be an interesting topic to sort of cover here. But now I want to hear from all of you in the comment section down below. Let me know which of these snake vehicles you would like to see the most be translated into legacy, and let me know just your thoughts on the snake vehicles just in general back from 2012. Did you enjoy them? Did you pick any of them up? Just let me know all of that in the comment section down below. And if you did enjoy the video, it would be highly appreciated if you could leave a like, also subscribe as well. It really does help a lot, so I would really appreciate it. And just thank you so much for checking out this video. I will see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.